So another, like a cousin of the work questions are these weird questions that may pop up. It'll either be like a boat or a canoe or something in the water, or it'll be a plane or a blimp or something flying through the air. A boat, which travels at a rate of 42 miles per hour, travels 10 miles upstream against the current. Which expression best represents the time it takes this boat to go blah, blah, blah? So first things first, it's against the current. That would be a negative. That would be bad. So it's got to be, we're thinking minus the current. If I'm running and the wind's in my face, that's going to slow me down. That would be a negative. If the wind was at my back and if I was going with it, that would be a plus. So at the very least, with these ridiculous questions, we could, at least against the current would be bad. That's plus current. We're going to say no to you. That's plus current. We're going to say no to you. Now, here's our way of remembering this stuff. These questions are so ridiculous, we want to call the doctor. D is for distance. The distance goes on top. The R is the rate, and the rate is 42. This is one of those questions that's difficult or troubling or whatever, not straightforward and quick. We didn't do any math. All we did was recognize this kind of ridiculous language. So we look for our key words. Against, that would be a negative. So that knocked out the pluses. And then the question is, what do you put on top or what do you put on bottom? The distance goes on top, the rate goes on bottom. I don't know how any other way to memorize it, except these questions give me a headache, so I'm going to call the doctor. And then it's either plus or minus. So I'm going to hit this, get it wrong, so let's look at the explanation. They do a DRT, distance equals rate over time, which is a formula, which doesn't help us solve this really. But we want to just recognize this and go, okay. That gets me to a 50-50, and the distance goes on top. And yuck. It's pure yuck. And now another robot question. Thank you, GED.